It's clear you like the hard stuff, Brota. Evening falls. The time has come to take the vow. The vows are blood and flesh. Lower intestine, the term is metabolic and circulatory system. Fascism, Brota. Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revachol's problems? Yes, them, but also women. Women, men of war. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Woo men need to go back to the fucking kitchen. That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. But the main thing is that woo men need to know their place. Feminists? No, it can't be. Not you. No one believes this. Stomach truth. You're having a stomach truth. Because you've said the hard things that others won't say, the good things, you've said them many times. Okay, yes, let's call it that. Good thinking. That sounds much better. Traditionalism. You like the sound of that. You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your views, Brota. For the nation, smart. Best not to mention the woo men too often. That's why you're the head and I am the stomach. Of course you are, Brota. Of course.
Trust me, I'm not a team player. Occasionally. Why? You're right. It's horrible for the skin. Very aging.
Not that he has to worry about getting old yet. He's sparkling with youth. A radiant demigod.
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
This woman's health is failing her. There's not much to do. Not in this damp. That's not a healthy look. Muscles get bigger. Heart grows weaker. Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place. It's your own fault if you're ill. Got it? Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places, events historical. Most of it ends up as a twisted mass of facts inside your brain. You can do it. It'll be worth it. There's something here. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. Furthermore, they have no idea how hard it is to simply remove a body from a tree. Physically, he should be fine, or at least no worse than usual.
Up to my gills, officer.
An acidic smile on her lips. It's getting worse every year.
Then tell me, what do you think of the pale?
Your ailing constitution, sweaty forehead, the beads there, and your heavy breathing.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
Women. It's the women. Look out for the women. They're oath breakers.
Why Dolores?
Because it stings in an ancient and beautiful way. Did someone say shooting yourself in the foot?
I imagine a man like you can take quite the lashing. But I believe we were talking about the strike.
This man won't be feeding his family anytime soon. Not that he was, but at least he won't be beating his son.
A pair of half-open bug eyes is staring back at you from the dark, empty, and frozen. It's clear that the person behind them is not awake. His half-open eyes give him the look of a dead man, but he is in there and not enjoying himself.
Look, he's trying to communicate.
No, your resilience.
I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though. No, I don't know.
You can take this. Blossom like a pain flower. The girl is at a loss for words. Not even close. Man from Heimdall in hell. Man from Heimdall and the forest of slaves. Man from Heimdall under the lake. Man from Heimdall, Heimdall burning. There's even The Trial of Death, a pastoral combat gamebook set in the world of Heimdall-man, and so much more. A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching. Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Heimdall in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man. She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Heimdall man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Heimdall and the Devil Woman. Especially those leering types who seem to wear nothing but an armored bikini. There's also some sort of a snake lizard beast slithering around her abdomen, chest, shoulder region. It's symbolic of vice and sin. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Heimdall novels. The book contains descriptions of various pseudo-scientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the Pale, also known as le territoire. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik, or hand broom, made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near Pale. Even better if you can find someone else, preferably a large man dressed in nothing but a towel, to thrash you while you're spread naked and helpless on a cool slab. It is, and good for the circulation too. Dolores Day. Dolores. Dolores. At least it clearly wasn't Dolores Day. She wouldn't be false. She's beautiful. While it was actually her. Correct. The Mesk might see Franco Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores Day has become widely regarded as the greatest innocence, a most radical change to the whole fabric of the world. Everything from inter-esolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow, and more beautiful, and more beautiful, and more beautiful.
You're not cooperating, brother man. It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because of the pain.
And there's a lot of it, ever present in your organs. It's like every one of them has their own nasty song to sing.
At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government.
The rulers of Revachol, and also the world. These guys are strong.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
By God, this young man has the body of a decathlete. His lithe form was practically made for vaulting over the high bar.
Occasionally. Why? No. I just like to look good.
Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
Later then, entering this door seems a physical challenge. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyundai somewhere. This is entirely, completely you. You have found the right books. Mountains of it. Heroic quantities of Hyundai. Roy's puny shirt is nothing compared to the real deal. For a moment, you cease to read the story on the page and see the book for what it is. A collection of brittle, cheaply printed pages held together by glue made from the hooves of horses. From nowhere, you hear the screech of sneakers on a waxed floor, and you feel the burn of rope against your hands. Are these figments of some other life? You won't find the answers you're looking for here, in other words. Good going, buddy. Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night. You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think. It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself. Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It kept you propped up all day yesterday, despite your debilitating hangover. How else did you think you even got up from this floor? You got up from this floor because of a holy vow you made 16 years ago, with me. To wake up exactly 7:30 every morning until the day you die. Don't be silly. There was no vow. You were high on speed. That was the only reason you got up. You can't detect without it. It's that simple. Of course, Martinez is speed central. You just gotta poke around, follow your nose. You and Speed will be happy again. You will make her come home. This time, it will be different.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Shit, yeah, baby. It's the party pipeline. Why would you want to shut that down?
I assure you, officer, these are not the sort of parties you'd want to attend.
She has no idea what kind of parties you've been to.
Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats and... Don't hold it against me. The boys certainly did not.
There's a spark in the air, a live wire hanging in the wind, in your hungover neocortex. Then the sea air cools it down. Forgive her, but only because you like pearlescent teeth and those light green eyes. Beneath her waterproof raincoat and silk shirt is a body imbibed in numb 12 perfume. You are suddenly and intimately aware of it.
Ah, Maybe you remember more than you let on, despite whatever brain damage the alcohol may have inflicted.
I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
It's the god of cigarettes and youth. Ask him if he's got anything to spare.
Apologies, but this is my last one.
The god himself has denied you absolution.
Absolution? I don't know that brand, but I'm pretty sure you can get Astras at the Frit.
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over. It was my Sunday friend.
A Sunday friend? How intriguing. A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges, secured to the doorframe with a safety chain. An unpaid energy bill is attached, threatening to cut off the electricity. It's addressed to Mr. Uno Doroita. Your heartbeat quickens, palms go sweaty. The siren of amphetamine is singing you her song. A phone book lies open on the table, covering a stack of utility bills. Right next to it, in plain sight, sits a small bottle of amphetamine, conveniently equipped with a straw. Score, it's right there, baby. Today's your lucky day. You pocket the bottle as if it were the most natural thing in the world. Don't wait, celebrate. Blast that shit right here. Take inventory of it once this boring table shit is done. Silence. Only heat emanates from the sleeping body. He wouldn't be too thrilled to learn you stole his stash. It was the last thing keeping him functional.
And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall.
So preppy. She's probably on some low-grade performance enhancers, like Peptide or Pericanine. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy. Oh, baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing.
I didn't know I had to do that. I guess we can change the subject, sir. I didn't mean to bring you down.
Oh my, of course. What a man.
She's energetically impressed with you and your values. This is sincere. She's the kind of person who believes in telling a man that he's quite the man, while he's being very manly. You've created a delicious tincture of whiskey and ginger. According to the pharmacopoeia, it should increase your energy and focus, though, in your experience, it's only done the opposite. If only you could find one of these right now and drink the shit out of it. The book said it's good for you, so it would be okay.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective.
Sex crimes did pique your interest, but still, this Dick Mullen person only gets your pleasure centers down. But also extremely accurate in your case. Give it time. You'll fall off the wagon sooner or later. One evening, Deanna Deneuve comes to Mullen's hostel room in tears. The two of them drink half a bottle of vodka, and soon they're seeking comfort in each other's arms. Yes, comfort and pleasure. The warmth of another human's touch. The burning taste of liquor on her full, sweet lips.
Ah, yes. The problem with mass-market paperbacks. They are not made to last. Perhaps this is a sign that you should get back to solving your own murder, huh, detective?
Don't forget, it could have been the delirium tremens. That page 3 girl, she must be the most beautiful page 3 girl ever printed. And look at those freckles. The origin of disco. Makes you want to dive into the boogie, doesn't it? Get closer to disco itself with Miss Page 3. L'origine du disco. Such a powerful conceit. And this is what we're going to do with it? The commitment of an act of gross public indecency? It would be indecent to ignore Miss Page 3. Beauty is inviting you on a pilgrimage. A pilgrimage you can make with just your hand. Yes. Sure is. Oh, come on. Don't say you've forgotten that as well. You can feel what you want to do. You want a party, don't you? Party right now with Miss Page 3. Unzip and party. That's exactly what I mean. Unzip and party down on yourself, my man. No one's watching. Except Miss Page 3, of course. Look at her thighs. Between her thighs. And what are you waiting for, man? Party with Miss Page 3 all the way to Disco Zero. Is what you're thinking. But you don't want to party down. Not really. Not in the deepest part of your soul, where the freckles only make you sad. Come on, what are you talking about? Sad freckles. Freckles are fun. The furnace has long been cold, despite itself. You're too sad to jerk off. This is not the first time this has happened, either. Then it is truly over. You are beyond the help of the Page 3 girl. You are truly doomed. Tell her she'll like you for it.
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
Well, that's not good. Looks fine over here. You sure it's not some sort of glandular problem?
What is happening?
A breeze ripples through the cells and tugs at your hair. Below, the sleek, fish-like shape of the hull parts the water. Beneath that, a resounding darkness. You're reminded of something. Or someone.
Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable. The weary.
A cold breath rushes in from the bay, making its way down the alleyways and potholed streets. From Martinez to Jamrock, in the traffic you hear the clinking of glass vials, concealed beneath tarpaulin. Or is it just your teeth chattering in the cold? There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it. A cold creeps up your spine, reaching its tendrils up your neck, toward the back of your head.
So a quarter of humanity simply lost their minds. And how would you stop a prion? A complex folding protein, unlife, with a technology 50 years ago.
The wind stops, and for a moment, there's silence. The charge dissipates into the dark water. All is quiet on the Martinez inlet. A dog barks. A gunshot echoes off the walls of some distant building. A woman's voice.
There is peace in the heart. Capital is past, pockmarked by cannons. It's all yours. Always. Revachol forever. The age of man is over.
While a gentle wind sweeps the streets in the rebuilt east, light drizzle washing it clean, lights go up and motor carriages circulate the tracks. A frisson lifts the hair on the back of your arm. Wind sweeps the surface of the bay.
The world is a suzerainty of Revachol.
See? Everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
The cold seeps into you, The air is heavy with 80% humidity. A frisson lifts the hair on the back of your arm. Wind sweeps the surface of the bay.
Indeed. There is a term of endearment they coined for it, in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included. Elysium.
If you can call it living. I have a little room upstairs right next to the coal room. It's barely bigger than a closet, but I don't complain, no. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company, and that's all I need from this world.
And all she gets, too. The coastal wind beats down hard on the coal room door outside. Splashes of waves make the balcony slippery. A shift in temperature, the air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor. A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to -20 degrees Celsius. Is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression. Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture have been jotted down. It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room. She had an eye for beauty.
It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighborhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects.
Your head feels light and dizzy. A cold breeze caresses your flesh. Monstrous buildings loom over Grand Coudron. A cold wind howls in the empty halls of homes built upon delusions. There is no life in Grand Coudron. No one can afford to live there.
Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. Better times ahead for sure.
Radiating outwards from you, the suzerain Revachol, with a radius of 80 kilometers, still the crown jewel of this Isola would be barely visible. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is, north of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the Greater Revachol Industrial Harbour. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest. No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rain falls on its slick black streets. And then there's the burnt-out quarter in the heart of Jamrock. Is it cold in this bookstore? Or is it just you? Your skin crawls.
Mr. Everard is helping him find his gun.
I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the Union. These men here. Men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the Union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think it's them. That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debarders Union. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay?
He's not exaggerating about that mortal danger, just calmly factoring it in. Your fists clench and your pulse rises uncomfortably. Qualified pleasure craft operator. So charming. Where's the damn license?
I just renewed its safety inspection last month, officers. It is completely seaworthy. In fact, it's taken part in not 1, but 2 insulindic regattas. Even finished once.
Perhaps she even knew beforehand of your affliction. A sudden pinch of paranoia comes over you.
These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late. For the big time.
The smile of a predator. No doubt what she's got in mind.
All men are predators, dear. Nothing much to be done about that. It's all a matter of where you get to file your teeth. And I asked you, past-less detective of the Citizens Militia, what insight has acute encephalopathy given to you?
Here's some wisdom, lady. Say the death thing.
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
A cold fear seeps into you. Tremble. The time is now. Ta'ola. Time for the show. For Ta'ola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse on itself. The world will disappear into a single grain of blackness. All sound will be muted. All life will scream. Ulogu Theodos, Xeno Zausin, Ipoli Osidien, Echondes Fronisin. Monday morning, the moment you arrived in this reality, are the first crack in the sheer face of God. From you it will spread. Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning in the coming years. That is why you marked yourself. It's totally also a coping mechanism. So you should be. The world island crumbles at your feet, and in the far plain, Palindropos. Perhaps, just a thought, this has something to do with the hangover. The face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing. We all become vape.
Pig's come to take me out! Trying to snuff me out!
If anything, you're afraid she'll take you out one day.
Then why are you sneaking up on me like that? It's not a good idea to scare me, pig. Not a good idea at all.
Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at the neighboring windows. Someone hides behind a curtain. Those windows have eyes, and those eyes are watching, spying on you three. Nothing happens. It must be an ambush. Let's get your adrenaline pumping, just in case. Don't let the quiet fool you. The beast is in there somewhere, ready to rip you to shreds with a broken bottle.
I know there's no stopping you, but let's at least make this quick.
Blast it before you face the beast. Deruita. You're going to need the encouragement. Something underneath there is breathing. It doesn't give a shit that you're a cop. Stop your hand now, or you're gonna die. A groan rises from the man's throat, dry like a death rattle. He's trying to say something in his sleep. The bear is trying to wake up.
Well, judging by the color of his hair, I would say yes, it is.
There's still plenty to be scared of here, just not what you thought.
I think he's still quite bad. I mean, what he has come to.
I don't want to talk about Deweeters. Addicts, all of them. And sometimes I hear them screaming. They don't like me cleaning behind their door. Think I'm listening in on their fights.
So she doesn't. Not after that one time. There's a that one time here. You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
Excuse me? Of course not.
Scare them. Suspected of some big crime.
But it does make the famous people more famous.
They're all dogs. Maybe 100. Man from Heimdall and the sages at the end of the world. Man from Heimdall and the false god. Man from Heimdall and the scorched earth. Man from Heimdall, the Heimdall colonies. Man from Heimdall and the swamp beast. Man from Heimdall and the snow crabs. Those snow crabs are worse than they sound. I don't know. I don't want to be the party pooper, but this pale territory sounds sort of dangerous. Maybe you shouldn't walk in it naked. There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations. Thanks for nothing. The name of the true killer. It's a dangerous line of work, but somebody has to do it. That's why Dick Mullen never lets anyone get too close. What's the matter? Afraid you've been hacking up your friends' bodies in the night?
You don't have to give me any money at all. If you want a room, yes, you'll need to pay me, but you don't have to just give me money. Giving me money for a room is your choice.
This isn't a fucking joke.
That's right, I'm the cafeteria manager. I'm glad we cleared that. Was there anything else?
What you want is a goddamn drink. How is that so hard to understand? That bird ain't no symbol of hope. It's a menace and a traitor. The woman scans her surroundings as though a neurologist might magically appear. Fear seeps into you as you say it.
Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapour, marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. A mould that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
You hear your pulse rise. The air feels caustic and cold suddenly.